XXX Tentacion was in Deerfield Beach, Florida, on June 18, 2018, reportedly visiting a motorcycle dealership with his step-uncle. Before arriving at the dealership, he is reported to have withdrawn a large amount of cash from a nearby bank. And this detail becomes important later, because it connects directly to what investigators believe was about to happen. He arrives at the motorcycle dealership and enters the location. He spends time inside, looking at motorcycles and moving through the showroom. Nothing at this point appears unusual from the outside. But according to the investigation, this is where surveillance evidence becomes important. At some point during this visit, individuals connected to the later incident are believed to have been in the area. Investigators later investigate that the suspects were tracking his movements prior to the encounter. And this is where the timeline begins to shift. Because what looks like a normal visit may have already been observed. XXX Tentacion exits the dealership with his step-uncle and returns to his vehicle. He gets into the driver's seat of the BMW i8. The engine remains off or stationary for a short period. This is the final moment of normal movement before the escalation. And here's where everything changes. A separate vehicle enters the area and positions itself nearby. Inside that vehicle are multiple individuals later identified in the investigation. According to court evidence and witness statements, at least one of the individuals had previously entered or approached the dealership area earlier. This is believed to have been done to confirm his identity and presence. Now the situation tightens. Because once his vehicle is stationary outside the dealership, the suspects move in. Two individuals exit the approaching vehicle and move toward his car. They reach the driver's side. At this moment, everything becomes concentrated around a single point, the vehicle. And this is the critical turning point. The encounter escalates immediately at close range. The interaction lasts only seconds. XXX Tentacion remains inside the vehicle. The driver's door area becomes the center of the incident. His step-uncle exits and flees the scene during the escalation. And this is one of the most important details in the case timeline. Because within seconds of the confrontation beginning, control of the situation is lost. The suspects take personal belongings during the encounter, including a bag containing cash. This aligns with the robbery classification later used in court. Then the situation reaches its final stage. Multiple shots are fired at close range. The suspects immediately return to their vehicle. And just as quickly as it began, the vehicle leaves the area. XXX Tentacion remains inside the BMW i8. No further movement is recorded. Emergency services are contacted shortly after the incident. And here's the part that makes the timeline so striking. From the moment the suspects approach, to the moment they leave, everything happens in a matter of seconds. Investigators begin processing the scene and collecting surveillance evidence. Authorities later confirm that multiple individuals were involved in the incident. The investigation identifies a coordinated group connected to the event. Charges are later filed, and arrests are made in connection with the case. And this becomes a key part of the case history. Because it was not treated as a random encounter. It was investigated as a targeted robbery that escalated. Now stepping back from the timeline. The sequence of events is reconstructed entirely from surveillance footage, witness statements, and investigation reports. There is no single moment where everything happens clearly in isolation. Instead, it is a chain of small movements that build into one critical point. And when that final point arrives, there is no recovery window. No delay. No separation between action and consequence. XXX Tentacion was 20 years old at the time of his death. And this is why the case continues to be studied. Not because of one moment, but because of how quickly the entire sequence unfolds. From a normal visit to a fatal outcome in a matter of seconds.